Good evening and welcome to News Watch tonight. Many thanks for joining us as we bring you news that made headlines today. My name is Melissa Oduor. On the sign language tonight is Boniface Mureithi. News Watch begins now. The Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, KNCHR, has expressed serious concerns regarding the rising incidences of abductions, kidnappings and femicides in the country. The Commission, which has released the State of the Human Rights report covering the last 5 months, said the violations pose a threat directly to the safety and rights of women and other vulnerable populations. In response to the report, the Law Society of Kenya has condemned the cases of abductions and taken issue with the increased corruption within the judiciary, emphasizing the need for greater transparency in managing cases, especially those that involve police misconduct. Dolly Murigi begins our bulletin tonight with that story.
In the State of Human Rights report released today, the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, KNCHR, said it had recorded a total of 1,376 arrests and 610 cases of injuries between June 18th and November 2024. The Commission noted that there are 26 individuals still missing following 74 cases of enforced disappearance reported within the same time frame. While releasing the report, the Commission emphasized on the growing urgency of addressing the issue, which have become more pronounced recently.
We can conclude as a Commission that the numbers have actually increased. And if we have to compute that into percentage, maybe we need a minute or so. But the bottom line is that there is an increase in terms of those violations, and especially within the period of 18 months, that is quite a high figure.
Which we will continue pushing so that it can be resolved. It's a matter that can even be declared as a national disaster because our women and the girls are suffering. So it's a matter of concern to us as a commission.
According to the National Police Service, there were 97 reported cases of femicide in the past 3 months, highlighting the severity of the crisis.
We also observed that during the demonstrations, they were targeted groups, including targeted groups that were sexually profiled. For example, we noted young women being thrown into police vehicles without dignity that is required.
The Commission further reported that in the Shakahola cult murders, it's documented 448 deaths, with statements indicating that 600 people are still missing. The Commission called on the IPOA to investigate and recommend charges against any police implicated in the extrajudicial killings.
There was a call that persons whose loved ones were missing and they had reason to believe that they are in Shakahola should provide samples. This process is going on through the government chemists. Unfortunately, the matches have been very few. But also, we have called as a commission for resources to be availed to various agencies, including the government chemists. The reagents, particularly for DNA profiling, are fairly expensive. And these had not been factored in the budget of the government chemists, they tell us, because they had not anticipated this magnitude of work. So we are calling upon.
On its part, the Law Society of Kenya, LSK, has raised significant concerns regarding corruption within the judiciary and the insufficient transparency in the management of cases, especially those related to police misconduct. The LSK President, Faith Odhiambo, has urged the Judicial Service Commission to collaborate with LSK in creating a comprehensive framework aimed at addressing complaints effectively.
Calling them out, the Judicial Service Commission must be able to be transparent and accountable. The complaints received, how do we know what is the status of any matter that is being dealt with or addressed? We did a vetting arising from a huge outcry with the nation with regards to the kind of corruption and decay that was ongoing. We cannot let our judges or magistrates feel that they are demigods in this country. everyone is accountable and everyone must abide by the rule of law.
Dolly Murikimbuvi for Hope TV.
Thank you, Dolly, for that report. Kenya's foreign policy will be reviewed and aligned with emerging global realities and complexities. According to President William Ruto, the policy will be an important tool that helps navigate the challenges of a complex world order. Hence, it must align with the dynamic realities of domestic and international environments. Speaking during a consultative forum to review the policy at the Kenyatta International Convention Center in Nairobi, the president pointed out that Kenya's pursuit of national economic transformation requires a forward-looking, robust, patriotic, and people-centered foreign policy to attract investments, drive the country's progress, and improve the welfare of the people. Deputy President Kithure Kindiki, on his part, said the government will promote the country's economic interests globally in an effort to achieve the gains of the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. Prime Cabinet Secretary and Foreign Affairs Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi has meanwhile defended President William Ruto's recent trips, saying they have boosted Kenya's image abroad and increased foreign investments in the country.
So it is our desire that through this kind of interaction, under your leadership, Your Excellency, we can perhaps coin something that we might call foreign policy machinani, so that we can get the ordinary citizen, the young men and women of this country, to understand why it is important for a nation to engage with the globe.
Today, we mark a significant milestone in the crucial process of reviewing and consolidating our foreign policy into a comprehensive document. This policy reflects our strategic responses to global imperatives at both bilateral and multilateral levels, defines the values and principles driving our responses, and articulates our objectives as a nation. This transformation is timely, coming at the expiry of the shelf life of our 2014 foreign policy document that had been developed, again, in a concerted effort, the way this one has been. Our foreign policy must align with the dynamic realities of both domestic and the international environment. Kenya's pursuit of national economic transformation necessitates a forward-looking, robust, patriotic, and people-centered foreign policy that will attract investments and secure our country's rightful place on the global stage.
And the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, KNCHR, has flagged significant challenges, particularly for vulnerable groups, persons with disabilities, and those facing mental health issues, with the transition from the National Health Insurance Fund, NHIF, to the Social Health Insurance Fund, SHIF. The lobby group has noted that the transition has disrupted access to essential healthcare services for many, with vulnerable populations bearing the brunt. KNCHR has meanwhile called for the inauguration of the Mental Health Board, which was gazetted in June 2022, but is yet to become operational.
Disabilities, of course, do need extra support, extra care, especially during the demonstrations. And in the report that we have provided with those statistics, we have even the names of the individuals. We have the areas where the incidences occurred, and other details are captured in our report. But just to give you a gist of that, we had 2 in Nakuru and 1 in Nyeri that are in our records. And of course, beyond the report, the Commission will undertake further follow-ups to ensure that these PWDs are protected.
First Lady Mama Rachel Ruto has continued to champion her school kitchen garden initiative in schools countrywide to support the school feeding program in public schools in the country. Speaking in Kaptembwa, Nakuru County, during celebrations to mark the World Children's Day 2024, the First Lady said she will initiate the school feeding of 2 million children in support of the 10 million meals daily in schools by 2030. This year's celebrations are themed Feed One and End Hunger. Basic Education Principal Secretary Dr. Belio Kipsang on his part said the ministry is on course to provide a conducive learning environment for grade 9 students for next year.
We are working to ensure every child has access to a nutritious meal daily. Kenya aims to attain the universal school feeding target of 10 million meals daily by 2030. Currently, we are feeding 2.5 million children daily. I have a brand ambition to support 2 million children out of the gap of 7.5 million children who are yet to enjoy a school meal daily. In collaboration with the relevant state departments and partners, we are embarking on the following initiatives. First, we are establishing school kitchen gardens in all public schools to grow short-term nutritional crops like vegetables and herbs. Second, we are establishing fruit gardens in public schools to supplement the fruit intake for children. And third, for the schools with arable land, we will work with the Ministry of Agriculture and partners to support the production of food for the school. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to urge the county governments and elected leaders present to join us in this program and allocate a budget that will support school feeding programs in our schools.
As government, through the Ministry of Education, we are already constructing 11,000 classrooms. Between these two schools, we are doing 10 classrooms as we prepare ourselves for the next year. We have also supplied books to the two schools in the ratio of 1:1 in all learning areas. And as you are aware, Your Excellency, our colleagues at the Teacher Service Commission has just confirmed 46,000 of our intern teachers. We are recruiting another 20,000 teachers in preparing for the future who are our children.
Kenya has denied involvement in the alleged abduction of Ugandan opposition leader Kizza Besigye. Foreign Affairs Principal Secretary Sing'oei Korir said Kenya has no role in Besigye's alleged arrest or deportation. According to Besigye's family, he was abducted in Nairobi, where he had traveled to attend the book launch of NARC Kenya party leader Martha Karua. Footage from Kampala showed Dr. Besigye, who is a former physician to President Yoweri Museveni, being brought for a court hearing at the General Court Martial in Makindye in Kampala today, and thereafter being remanded at the Luzira prison until the 2nd of December. Speaking in Nairobi, Law Society of Kenya LSK President Faith Odhiambo expressed concern over the abduction of the veteran Ugandan opposition leader, describing the incident as a direct assault on the principles and freedoms that define a democratic society. And Water and Sanitation Cabinet Secretary Engineer Eric Mugaa has conducted an impromptu visit to Umar Dam in Kitui County on a site progress inspection mission and a push to ensure the water supply project does not stall. The project was rewarded in January 2024 and is at 17% and expected to be completed in January 2027. Its coffer dam and diversion tunnels are almost complete, and dam access grouting is ongoing. The project, which will cost 1.96 billion shillings, has seen 257 million shillings already paid off to the contractor by the government of Kenya. Upon completion, the dam is expected to be able to store 1.2 billion liters of water and supply 2.65 million liters of the commodity to Kitui town residents.
This dam is supposed to impound approximately 1.2 million cubic. Hizo ni lita kama bilioni 1.2. That is not a small amount of money to feed the people of Kitui. And the contractor is working all around because, as you can see behind me, he has cleared the dam access. Grouting is ongoing. And we are glad to report that we are committed to see completion of this project. As we speak, we have no pending invoices or certificates from the contractor, which is an achievement because, you know, this dam is purely funded by the government of Kenya. And we are committed. Under the financial year 2024-2025, we have an allocation of around 250 million to keep the contractor going. And therefore, we are not expecting any other snarl-ups or challenges along the way. On matters land, which is a key component in this kind of infrastructure, the impoundment will cover around 12 hectares, that is around 27-28 acres of land. So it's not a very big, and that land issues have been sorted and the community is actually very happy. However, we have advised the contractor to utilize this moment when it is raining and do some tree planting around the catchment to mitigate on erosion and ensure that once impoundment comes in, our get filled quickly due to sedimentation from the eroded catchment. You can see clearly we have bare surfaces along the impoundment regions. We are glad to report that the young people in the area are having jobs within the locality, and we have committed to the contractor. Hakikisha kwamba
The director says we take a short break here on News Watch. We shall be back with the day's business news. Don't go too far.
Coming soon. This November.
He's the God who raised up Moses in a palace only to use him in the wilderness, and raised up Joseph in the wilderness only to use him in a palace.
Young person, God is at work within your heart. What does it say? He is at work. It's Him who is at work in you.
If you are going to be successful in the service of God, it calls for sacrifice.
We get to appraise what God is doing, and by His invitation, partner with Him.
Come on, keep moving. He's inspiring you to challenge that which seems impossible.
What He would require of us is to declare, send me Lord, regardless of our background.
Only on Hope TV.
This week on Testify.
I hold knife and just about to cut my hand, but something that's still pricking my heart. No, this is not the end of your life. This is not the end of your life, Brother Sandeep. This is not the end. My son and my father, he was in Indian Army. He was very strict. He tied us naked and put in roof in sunlight. This kind of torture I am going through, because he was very strict, very strict. I left everything. I start going church, but something is still there. And God, when God touch, He changes you completely.
Amen.
Not partially.
Only on Hope TV. Look and live.
Looking at business news now, M-Pesa Go, Old Mutual, and the Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development, KICD, have unveiled a financial literacy online toolkit targeting students in junior and senior schools. The program includes interactive sessions and gamified digital experiences that allow students to engage directly with financial professionals, fostering a dynamic learning environment. The Learner's Toolkit comes after the launch of the Teachers Training Platform in June this year to empower teachers with the necessary skills on matters finance, therefore enabling them to pass the same to the young ones. Speaking at the launch event, Esther Waititu, the Chief Financial Services Officer at Safaricom, noted that Kenya's financial ecosystem has transformed in the last decade to include a wider range of financial services and digital finance, enabling anytime, anywhere access and making financial literacy an important aspect for a financially healthy society.
Unfortunately, financial literacy
is not a subject that has been inculcated in our education system until very recently. Similarly, at home, through the research we've been doing, not much is talked about regarding financial literacy. Hence the effort that Old Mutual is making to inculcate financial literacy into the education system and through students into the community, through teachers into the community and the broader nation.
Our partnership with Old Mutual and the Kenya Institute of Curriculum department is really important to us because we wanted to have a consistent way in which you can talk about and think about money. Each one of us have been brought up differently around, working with money. But there's some essential fundamentals which we believe are applicable for everyone. And we thought that having this independently may not always be the right thing. So it's through the power of partnerships and collaboration that we can scale our impact across the different generations, across the population. And that's why the role of partnership is really, really important to us.
KCB Group PLC has recorded a 45.8 billion shilling profit after tax for the first 9 months of the year, driven by sustained revenue growth. This is a 49% growth from 30.7 billion shillings posted in a similar period last year. Making the announcement, the bank group said revenues increased by 22% to 142.9 billion shillings, bolstered by both funded and non-funded lines across the subsidiaries. KCB Group CEO Paul Russo further said the contribution by subsidiaries, excluding KCB Bank Kenya, also improved during the period, closing at 36.6% in profit after tax and 34% in total assets, a demonstration of the continued benefits of diversification to other markets outside Kenya.
Of subsidiaries outside of KCB Kenya, and if you look at the year-on-year change on the right-hand side, you can see very good double-digit growth. KCB Kenya 32, TMB 47, South Sudan 172. Roba, well done. Yeah. So the only outlier there is KCB Tanzania at PAT level, and that's because last year they had a one-off gain on tax that it dropped their tax rate. When I look at KCB Tanzania from a PBT point of view, they've had a 34% year-on-year growth. So it's not that they've been left behind.
Internet banking at 52%. Agency banking, optimizing data analytics. We're lending over 1 billion per day on mobile. We improved limit management for digital loans, and those are still doing well. But I like the fact that we are now talking about using leads to generate.
And Absa Bank Kenya has opened a new branch in Kamakis, Kiambu County, to serve the banking needs of the emerging town and its surrounding communities. The new Kamakis branch is located at the Viashla Premier Business Center. The bank said the new branch is vital for its broader strategy to expand its distribution network and foster financial inclusion while supporting small and medium enterprises, traders, and individuals in the rapidly growing satellite towns. The new branch brings Absa Bank's total footprint to 86 branches across 38 counties. Speaking during the official opening ceremony, Absa Bank's Customer Network and Distribution Director Peter Mutua said the diverse commercial landscape presents an opportunity for the bank to provide relevant financial and non-financial partnerships.
Today we are at Kamakis, and we've opened our newest branch in this part of town. This is a testament to Absa's commitment to be where our customers want us to be. At Absa, we like to call it Tupo Lipo. We will be where you want us to be to meet your financial needs. Kamakis is a thriving business community. We hosted and opened the branch this morning. We've welcomed our customers. We've been around here for a week. Today was just the official opening. And we're having queues in our branches for business people coming to interact with us to meet their financial services needs. So Absa's commitment to expand right in communities where financial services are needed is going to continue. And us is to make sure that our customers continue to build their prosperity. We like to say your story matters. And as APSA, we're here to enable the greater story of our customers. And we come with greater good, to, yes, offer financial services, do business with our.
And Cooperative Bank has been named the overall winner at the Kenya Bankers Association KBA 2024 Sustainable Finance Catalyst Awards. This is the 5th time in 7 years that Coop Bank has been named overall winner, having also won the overall title since 2017. The awards were created to recognize institutions that practice sustainable finance, which has a direct positive impact on the financial sector, the economy, the environment, and the society at large. We're taking a short break to look at sports news before we wrap up this news bulletin.
This week on Hope Devotion.
Because when God envelops you, His fullness satisfies each and every need. This is why I love Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want.
Join Pastor Brown as he shares the Word of God on the topic Hope for the Church.
Many people are like Martha because Jesus promised that I'm coming to the house. He was told that your friend Lazarus is sick. Come to the house. And Jesus delayed. He delayed. And many people are coming like Martha, with dead things on their hands and are telling the Lord, behold, look at the things which died because you delayed. You cannot wait on a God that you do not love. Let me tell you, if you are waiting on God and you do not love Him, please stop waiting. Please stop waiting. You're waiting. The reason why you're waiting can endure is because it is empowered by love. I'm waiting on you, Lord, because I love you.
Start your day with hope every morning from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Hope TV, look and live.
Some sports news now. Arsenal legend Patrick Vieira has been appointed as the new head coach of Serie A club Genoa on contract, and that is valid until 2026. The 48-year-old former Crystal Palace manager who left RC Strasbourg in July succeeds former Italy striker Alberto Gilardino, who had been in charge since December 2022. Vieira joins a club that is in the 17th position in the Italian top flight, 1 point above the relegation zone. Vieira managed his former Manchester City and Inter Milan teammate at Ligue 1 side Nice during the 2018-2019 season. The appointment reunites Vieira with Mario Balotelli, who signed for Genoa last month. Balotelli has since said it was a disagreement with Vieira over tactics that led to his exit from the club in 2019. News Watch here on Hope TV. Thank you for your company as we brought you this newscast. I have been your anchor, Melissa Oduor, together with Boniface Morethi on the sign language. On behalf of the production crew, have a good night.